my name is Isabella Perez, Recreation Leader for the City of Socorro. Thank you for joining today's meeting. Before the meeting begins, we would like to remind our guests to remove all hats and silence all electronic devices. No disruptive behavior or outbursts will be tolerated, and violators are subject to ejection and possible prosecution.
Hola, mi nombre es Judy Rodríguez, secretaria de Planificación de la Ciudad de Socorro. Gracias por participar en la reunión de hoy. Antes de que comience la reunión, nos gustaría recordarles a nuestros invitados favor de quitarse los sombreros y silenciar todos los dispositivos electrónicos. No se tolerará ningún comportamiento perturbador ni exabrupto y los infractores estarán sujetos a expulsión y posible procesamiento.
Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you all to the May 21st, 2026 City of Socorro Council meeting. It's now 6:01 p.m. and I call this meeting to order. As always, we begin our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance, and today we have some very special guests with us today from Campestre Elementary School. And if you could all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance at this time. Thank you. So we want to thank you all, but aside from that, I want to thank the parents and the teachers for the amazing students that you guys share with us during these times and leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. We really do appreciate you all taking the time to bring them down here. At this time, on behalf of the City of Socorro and its City Council, we do want to recognize you all by giving you all a token of appreciation and a certificate, thanking you all and recognizing you all. That's okay. Is that okay with you guys? Yes? And you guys are on YouTube right now also, so you tell your friends to tune in, okay, when you get home. All right. I'll have our council women here help us out with those names.
Sebastian Steele.
Please let me know that I do say your name correctly. Freya Fimas.
Ever Camacho.
Take a photo with you guys? Is that okay? Yeah? And parents, if y'all want to take their photo also, and then chop us off if you want to. You guys can go home and do your homework now. Thank you all for sharing them with us. Thank you guys. This time we're going to establish a quorum.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Here.
Alejandro Garcia.
Here.
Mayor Rudy Cruz Jr.
Here.
Gina Cordero.
Here.
And Irene Rojas.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Navarro. Do we have any speakers signed up for public comment?
We have no speakers for public comments.
No speakers, and we have none online as well, right? Okay, good. At this time, we're going to move into our presentations with agenda item number 5. This is the recognition of the Socorro High School softball team for winning the 2026 UIL Conference 6A Region 1 District 1 Softball Championship and for winning their opening 6A Division II playoff game. Mr. Garcia, this is your agenda item.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'm very proud. I used to say that the hardest thing to do was hit a baseball, but it isn't because I tried hitting a softball and I couldn't. So it is the rise ball, the side, I don't know, I just can't. And coaching baseball, so it's difficult. But we want to recognize Socorro High School is becoming a yearly thing. We're super proud of you guys. Socorro High School softball team won the UIL Conference 6A, which is the biggest, one of the biggest districts in our region. They won the District 1 softball championship for the second consecutive year. The overall record was 30 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. The Conference 6A district, on play, the district achieved perfect record of 12 wins, 0 losses. They got ranked second in the state of Texas, 6A, by the Texas Girls Coaches Association. After a long winning the championship, the softball team won their opening 6A Division Playoff 2 game, 15-0 over Friendship. So we're super proud of our softball team and Coach O'Neill, and we are here to recognize them, to show them how proud we are of them. So we can start with that. Okay.
Yeah,
I will go ahead and list the names of our players and coaches. When I call your name, please stand for applause, and then make your way to the front. Starting with the players. Leline Avery Cardoza. Ali Carrillo. Mia Fernanda Dominguez. Cassidy Escobedo. Jaslyn Jimena Gardea. Dana Guerrero. Elisa Jan Gutierrez. Sofía Ana Gutierrez. Kayla Lares. Danielle Rose Lozoya. Nayeli Mares. Desiree Marufo. Andrea Perez. Haley Rodriguez. Carmen Elisa Soto. Camila Torres. Olivia Nicole Vasquez. We'll take one group photo with just the players, and then I will call the coaches' names. Parents, you're more than welcome to come up and take photos. We're going to do 2 separate photos. Coach Alejandra Lopez. Coach William Trujillo. Coach Randy Tabbitt. And Coach Sean O'Neill.
Coach O'Neill.
Appreciation.
856? 856? Okay, Coach O'Neill. Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
O'Neill.
My city manager told me that I needed to cool it with the plaques and the trophies, but Socorro doesn't stop winning, so we're gonna keep handing them out. Yeah. At this time, we'll move into agenda item number 6. This is a proclamation to recognize the month of May 2026 as Teacher Appreciation Month.
Proclamation, Teacher Appreciation Month, May 2026. Whereas teachers dedicate their time, talent, and compassion to educating and inspiring the students of the Socorro community, helping to shape future leaders, innovators, and responsible citizens. And whereas teachers serve not only as educators, but also mentors, role models, counselors, and advocates who positively influence the lives of students each day. And whereas the strength, prosperity, and the state of Texas's City of Socorro depend upon well-educated and engaged citizenry, made possible through the commitment and professionalism of our educators. And whereas Texas continuously adapts to meet the diverse educational needs of students while fostering academic excellence, creativity, critical thinking, and lifelong learning. Whereas it is fitting that the citizens of the City of Socorro recognize and express gratitude for the invaluable service and lasting contributions of teachers in our schools and community. Now, therefore, be it resolved, our Mayor, Rudy Cruz Jr., for the City of Socorro, Texas, together with the City Council, does hereby proclaim the month of May in the year 2026 as Teacher Appreciation Month. Not only in the City of Socorro, Texas, and our community, but also encourages all residents to join in honoring, thanking teachers for their dedication, service, and commitment to educating future generations. We are now witness thereof unto, by the hand and the city seal of the City of Socorro, Texas, affixed this 21st day of May, 2026.
And Ms. Charrette, I believe you have a list of names there. And what we would like to do is we'd like to get the group up here, and then we can take a photo with our council.
We'll start with elementary schools. From Campestre Elementary School, Irais Aguilar. From Escontrias STEAM Academy, Roxanne Pretzer. From H.D. Haley Elementary School, Ann Canchola. For K through 8 school, from Ernesto Serna Fine Arts Academy, Yvette Perez. From the middle school division, from Salvador H. Sanchez Middle School, Efren Rubacalva. From Socorro Middle School, Suri Rodriguez. And from Socorro High School, Javier Esparza.
Thank you all for your dedication. I had the privilege of being there at the gala with you all, celebrating with you all. So thank you for your hard dedication and your true commitment for everything that you do.
So this is where our meetings get boring. And at this time, we're going to go ahead and move into the consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent agenda?
Second.
There's been a motion and second to consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that motion carries. We now move in over to the regular agenda with agenda item number 12. This is a public hearing of an ordinance approving a proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and rezoning of Lot 6, Block 5, Spanish Trail Edition, located at 176 Lanza Lane, City of Socorro, El Paso County, Texas, from R1 Single Family Residential to R2 Medium Density Residential, to allow for existing triplex on the property with the condition for City of Socorro inspector approving building is up to code. It's 6:17 p.m. and the public hearing is now open.
No speakers, Mayor.
Okay. As there are no speakers on this item, we're going to go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:17 p.m. as well. We move into agenda item number 13. This is the second reading and adoption of an ordinance approving a proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and rezoning of Lot 6, Block 5, Spanish Trail Edition, located at 176 Lanza Lane, City of Socorro, El Paso County, Texas, from R1 Single Family Residential to R2 Medium Density Residential, to allow for existing triplex on the property with the condition for City of Socorro inspector approving building is up to code.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Lorene Quimito, City Planner. The rezoning request for 176 Lanza Lane, being Lot 6, Block 5 of Spanish Trail Edition, is being for the property owner and Representative Cassandra Muro. The property is 20,504 square feet in size, and the zoning is R1, single family residential. The current land use is a residential triplex, and the future land use map designates the area as suburban residential. In summary, this request is for approval of a rezoning of a property from R1 single family residential to R2 medium density residential, to allow for an existing triplex on the property. Planning and zoning staff recommends approval of the request. The Planning and Zoning Commission voted 4 yes, 0 no, and 0 abstentions to the rezoning request at their April 21st meeting, with the condition that the City of Socorro building inspector approved the building and confirmed that the building is up to code. The zoning map shows the applicant property highlighted in red, surrounded by single-family residential zoning. The next slide is a view of the entire subdivision, Spanish Trail Edition. This plat was recorded in July of 1970. It contains 111 R1 single-family residential zoning lots, 4 R2 zoned lots, and 4 R3 zoned lots, 1 C1 commercial lot, and currently has 3 vacant lots that are undeveloped. The future land use map designates the area as suburban residential. And the aerial photograph shows the residents on the lot surrounded by a mix of residential and vacant lots. These photographs were taken of the property. The photos on the left are of the front of the property from Lanza Lane, and the photo on the right is was taken from Galeon. Public notices were sent to property owners within 200 feet of the applicant property. No notifications were received either in favor or against the request. There were no speakers at the public hearing. This is a site plan showing the building on the property, and the floor plan, which shows the original submission for the home as a single-family residence. With that, in summary, the request is for an approval of a rezoning of the property from R1 single family to R2 medium density residential to allow for an existing triplex on the property. With that, staff can answer any questions, and Ms. Muro is also in attendance and can answer any questions as well. And I don't know if she would like to say anything to council.
Thank you, Ms. Kimiro. Do any members of council have any questions on this item here? No? So just to understand correctly, it was already a triplex, or it had already been divided?
Yes, so there was a notice of violation issued.
Oh,
It
okay.
was not properly zoned. The submission the original building plan added additional footage to the existing building that was there, and the approval was for a single-family residence. After that, the contractor or the property owner divided the property and now would like to bring it into compliance.
Okay, so it's just to bring them up to code and compliance with the zoning.
Correct.
Okay.
And this is to make it a
It is-
three-home apartment?
3
Okay.
units on the one lot.
Yeah, it's been operating as 3 already. It just, we were not in compliance. Now the rezoning will put us in compliance. The Planning and Zoning Commission all said yes to this?
Yes,
Okay.
they recommend approval, just that the condition that the building be brought up to code.
Okay.
Firewalls and backflows for each of the units.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions or comments for Ms. Kimito?
No, sir.
No? All right.
Excuse me.
The applicant,
Would
with the
like to make
applicant,
a request.
she'd like to make a statement? She want to apologize for, no, I'm joking.
Yes, actually, I do want to apologize. Yes, so initially, it was a single-family home, and so we decided to transform it into a triplex. If I would have known there was a process, we would have come in compliance through the city of Socorro. I honestly thought we were in compliance because our property taxes show there's 3 different units being charged, and they're divided by square footage. So I didn't know until I received that notice. But to add to that, more than anything, I have a question, because during the planning and zoning meeting, they mentioned that the precedent had been that these changes are from R1 to R2 or R3 usually pass without any conditions, and so I asked the reason why I was being requested with conditions, and so they didn't really have an answer for that, and so I just asked like the reason why I was being targeted if other people weren't being asked to go through the process. So I guess my question is, can it be approved without conditions?
So for those types of applications, it would usually go to like the Board of Adjustments, but that's something, I guess, different. I think what you're referring to is maybe new development or new construction. This is already existing. The only thing that I see here is maybe our code compliance officers happen to drive by and noticed, hey, you know what? There's a triplex here. Our system shows it's a single family residential. Let's stop in, see what's going on. Let's get them into compliance. Let's convert this into, multifamily residential. Because I think a lot of times what happens is a lot of folks that have been living in Socorro for so long, what tends to happen is the house gets sold and the family still owns it, and they want to convert it into a duplex, or in for instances a triplex, and rent it out. That's okay. But a lot of folks also don't know that there's a process for converting the single-family residential into the multifamily residential zoning. But I appreciate the cooperation with the city and trying to bring you all up to code. But no, as far as the confusion on the table there for the Planning and Zoning Commission, we don't necessarily target specific. I can tell you right now, I'm pretty sure there's other lots here in Socorro that are operating similar to this and are not in compliance. It's just a matter of time before our our team catches up to it and try to get them in compliance. But no, for the most part, if you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, Ms. Quimito and the Planning and Zoning Department will be more than happy to help guide you through the process and stuff like that.
So I guess my question was because it was my understanding that I was the first one to be asked to go through the process of actually, I guess, going through whatever inspector's request, that other people that have made the application, like they've applied and it's gone through without the conditions. That was my understanding, that I am the first person to have to do this. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Quimito.
Have we gone through some changes in our code, Ms. Quimito, that have triggered this? Okay.
No, we haven't. And
Okay.
at that meeting, one of the commission members did ask that question. Why would it be right to circumvent the process if this house had been built as a single-family home and they didn't go through all the steps and requirements? And the question was, are we sure that it is up to code? So that was the first time the Planning and Zoning Commission had asked that question. In other examples of instances where an existing triplex, duplex, those had been in existence before, but for various reasons, the bank needed for them to come into compliance. They went through the process of getting the rezoning, and they existed like as this multifamily residence before.
And the applicant also mentioned that I think for years the three, I don't want to call them units because they're all connected right under one roof.
It is a single-family home, and and it's 2020.
Has the cabin? Yeah.
2020, when they submitted the application for the remodel, the additions for the single-family home, certificate of occupancy was issued for a single-family home. So I don't know if that was what prompted the question.
So there's 3 water meters, there's 3 gas
No,
meters.
it's one single water meter, one.
Okay.
always.
And the city's not requiring the installation of 3 separate meters,
No.
gas
No.
meters or anything like that, just
The firewalls and
the sewer.
yes.
And the
For-
ponding?
No, to the
No,
pond.
on-site ponding.
No on-site ponding.
Okay. Well, that's pretty fair, I think, but the El Paso CAT has been charging those 3 units separate.
So Central Appraisal District has their own zoning classifications
Correct.
and their own valuations, and they get information that the city of Socorro doesn't.
Isn't
do
purview to,
very-
correct? Yeah.
So that's why things are listed differently in the Central Appraisal District.
Yeah.
Different zoning, and ours has its own sets of requirements.
Okay. Yeah, and for the applicant, I appreciate the, bringing that to our attention, so that way our staff, moving forward, we know that we can make those corrections and look out for those things as well. But
So then, I guess my question is for all of the prior applicants who, I guess, went through the process and didn't require to go through, I guess, pay for firewalls, or I guess everything that is required for me, like, why is it that they didn't go through the process, but I do? Like, the concern is still there as far as, I guess if the city of Socorro is concerned is for safety, why were they approved? And why all of a sudden now, with me, things are gonna change? You know what I mean?
Yes.
It just doesn't seem fair. And I would have understood if there's a process, if there was a policy or a procedure. So this is how it was done back then, this is how we're gonna do it moving forward, but it seems like it was just decided like right then and there with my case.
Ms. Quimito, is that a true statement? Is the city of Socorro going to have to go back and review those other applications?
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I didn't know that, that's new information, but I'm willing to comply if that's what you guys decide.
Yeah, no, and you know what, this has been a challenge for us, because I know that in the past, the city of Socorro, it had a different way of operating, and we've been working through the current years and writing the municipal code for all development here. Socorro is an older community, and you can drive down this road right here, and you can probably see homes that may not be up to code or compliance in 2026, but in the 70s and 80s, that was good enough, right? Our job now is to go back and rewrite and kind of work with those residents that have been living here, especially the elderly folk, and try to just make sure that they're living in a safe dwelling and stuff like that. But our city manager has a comment.
Yes, so for clarification, the conditions were imposed by Planning and Zoning Commission or by the department? Correct, so Planning and Zoning Commission, just like City Council, can impose conditions depending on a case-to-case basis. So if they didn't impose conditions on other properties, we can't go back and redo those because they've already been passed through the Planning and Zoning Commission and now coming to City Council, right? That's why it goes through the process, and then council ultimately approves them the way they are. Does that make sense? It's not like the city of Socorro is requesting those conditions. They were imposed by the Planning and Zoning Commission, and now they're bringing them to you saying, these are the, if you pass this, with the Planning and Zoning Commission is recommending that you do it with these conditions, right? But the Planning and Zoning Department is not imposing those conditions.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and I can see where the applicants, questioning, hey, well, in the past, there was no conditions placed on those other dwellings, but on my address.
Yes, and just for another point is that now she's renting this triplex, I'm assuming. That is the reason why she needs to bring them up to code, right? And we need to make sure that we inspect and make sure that they are up to code.
Correct. And if you have, further questions or concerns, by all means, visit our office, and if you need to set up an appointment with our planning and zoning department as well, we'd be more than happy to take that meeting with you.
And it is a little frustrating because I felt like one particular committee member was, I guess, a bit rude and unprofessional, during the process. But it's frustrating because I do feel targeted.
Yeah, and you know what? The last thing that we want here is for you to feel like that, and I can guarantee you that tomorrow we'll be addressing that concern with our committee members. They're residents of our city. They don't get paid for the time that they spend here and going over and reviewing these applications, but we want to make sure that you're treated with the same courtesy as you would as you walk into our offices here, because they also at some capacity represent the city. So I don't want to apologize for something I didn't do, but I'm sorry that you experienced that, but I can tell you that we're going to address that with our committee member.
Well, thank you for considering, and I understand the reasoning behind coming to code, but just that whole, we've approved it in the past for everyone else, but you seems a bit unfair.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. Unless council has any other questions or concerns?
No, sir.
No? Ms. Quimero, do you have any more to present on this one here?
No other comments. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. And I believe that there was a motion and a second to pass and approve this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Okay, that motion carries. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we're moving on to agenda item number 14. This is the public hearing of an ordinance approving a proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and rezoning of Lot 1, Block 4, Roseville subdivision located at 340 Bowman Road, City of Socorro, Paso County, Texas, from C1, light commercial, to R1, single-family residential, to allow for a single-family residential lot. It's 6:35 p.m. and the public hearing is now open.
No speakers, Mayor.
No speakers?
No speakers.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:35 p.m. as well. We move into agenda item number 15. This is the second reading and adoption of an ordinance approving a proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and rezoning of Lot 1, Block 4, Roseville subdivision, located at 340 Bowman Road, City of Socorro, Paso County, Texas, from C1, light commercial, to R1, single-family residential, to allow for a single-family residential lot.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The next item on the agenda is a rezoning request. This zoning request is for Lot 1, Block 4 of Roseville subdivision at 340 Bowman Road. The owner and representatives are Ruben Munoz and Eunice Almajer. The property is 25,243 square feet in size. It is zoned C1, general light commercial, and currently vacant. The future land use map designates the area as neighborhood commercial. In summary, the request is for approval of a rezoning from C1 light commercial to R1 single family residential to allow for a single family residence. Planning and zoning staff recommends approval of the request. The Planning and Zoning Commission voted unanimously with 4 members present to approve the request at their April 21st meeting. The zoning map shows the applicant property highlighted in blue. It is at the corner of Bakersfield Road and Bowman Road. It is surrounded by residential and C1 zoning. A view of the Roseville subdivision, which was platted in 1984. This subdivision includes 143 R1 single-family lots, R3 high-density lots, a single one on Bowman Road, and a mix of commercial lots, 4 C1s and 3 C2s on Bowman. The future land use map does designate this block along Bowman as neighborhood commercial. The aerial photograph shows the vacant lot surrounded by the mix of residential and commercial uses. These are photographs taken of the property. The top photograph is from Bowman Road, and the photograph on the bottom right is taken from the intersection of Bowman and Bakersfield Road. Public notices were sent out to property owners within 200 feet of the applicant property. No notices were received either in favor or against the request, and there were no speakers at the public hearing on April 21st. This is a concept plan of the property with the single-family home fronting Bowman. And in summary, the request is a rezoning of a property from C1 light commercial to R1 single-family residential to allow for a single-family residential lot. And with that, staff can answer any questions.
Do any members of council have any questions?
No, sir.
What's the square footage of this residential?
The home itself, I believe, is a little under 6,000 square feet.
The home?
But the
No, the land.
home, it's an empty lot.
oh, right now it's just an empty lot. The lot is 25,243 square feet.
And the development that's gonna take place, the
It's
structure?
just a single, I can't zoom in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hard to see on.
Sorry, 2,563 square feet.
Yeah, that's gonna be a nice house.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions or comments on this one here? No? There was a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? And that motion carries. Okay, we now move into agenda item number 16. This is a public hearing of an ordinance approving a proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and rezoning of Tract 21A, Block 17, Socorro Grant, located at 10199 Socorro Road, City of Socorro, El Paso County, Texas, from R1, single-family residential, to C1, light commercial, to allow for a commercial development. And the public hearing is now open at 6:40.
No speakers, Mayor.
Okay. As there are no speakers on this item, we close the public hearing at 6:40 p.m. as well. Agenda item number 17. This is the second reading and adoption of an ordinance approving a proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and rezoning of Tract 21A, Block 17, Socorro Grant, located at 10199 Socorro Road, City of Socorro, Paso County, Texas, from R1 Single Family Residential to C1 Light Commercial to allow for commercial development.
Motion to deny?
Second.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The rezoning request for 10199 Socorro Road being tracked 21A, Block 17 of the Socorro Grant. The owner is Jose Alejandro Lozano, and he is present to answer any questions that council may have. This property is 8,585 square feet in size. It is currently zoned R1, single-family residential. And the current land use is a vacant residential home. The future land use map designates the area as neighborhood commercial. And in summary, the request is for approval of a rezoning of a property from R1 single-family residential to C1 light commercial to allow for commercial development. Planning and zoning staff recommends denial of the request, and the Planning and Zoning Commission voted for approval, 4 yes, 0 no, and 0 abstentions at their April 21st meeting. The zoning map shows the R1 in yellow, single-family residential zoning districts. The property is highlighted in red and surrounded by the single-family residential, C1 light commercial zoning, and agricultural zoning across the street on Socorro Road. It is also worth noting that we are looking at property along the Mission Trail Historic Corridor. The future land use map for the city does designate this area as neighborhood commercial. So the request does fall in line with the city's comprehensive plan. The aerial image shows the home located on the lot and the surrounding residential, commercial, and vacant lots. These are various photographs taken of the property. The top you can see, and then I'll just go ahead and go across the screen from left to right. The top left is from Socorro Road, the front of the home. On the right, the view of the property from the intersection of Socorro Road and Buford. Middle left side is the property from Buford Road. And on the right bottom, the view of the property on the left side from Socorro Road. And then the bottom left, the view of the rear area of the property. So from the photographs, it does appear very cramped. Public notices were sent to property owners within 200 feet of the property. No notices were received either in favor or against the request. There were 2 speakers at the public hearing, and both expressed concern regarding the type of use, the type of commercial use that would be allowed in the property. They had heard that it might be a liquor store. They were not happy about that. One suggested to exclude that as a possible use. And one of the 2 speakers did say he did not oppose commercial development, but that their request was that it fit the character of the current development that is happening on Socorro Road. This site plan shows the proposed layout that Mr. Lozano is requesting. A driveway on Socorro Road, which currently does exist, and then the 2 access from Buford, a driveway circling the building, and 9 parking spaces. And this might be a good place to interject why the Planning and Zoning staff recommends denial. The lot is small. There is not a lot of room for the vehicles to be maneuvering. A future planned project for TxDOT at this intersection involves a roundabout, which might also impact the flow of traffic onto this property. The very important points that the Planning and Zoning Commission did raise during their discussion and why they voted for approval was to encourage this type of development. This property is vacant. It had been vacant for a long time. Seeing development on the corridor is positive for the community, as well as the possibility of variances that would allow for less parking spaces. If this is a neighborhood-friendly commercial use and there aren't as great a need for parking, then they can build on the walkability of the neighborhood, the new sidewalks that are on Socorro Road. So those were some of the points that the Planning and Zoning Commission made and why they recommended approval.
Any members of council have any questions?
I do. So the request originally is for, so that they can build a commercial building that,
To convert the residential building that's there to a commercial building.
but it'll interfere in the future with the planning that, for the roundabout.
It will, the roundabout plans that we have currently seen are still just conceptual. There were reports that that project had been canceled. We reached out to TxDOT and it was confirmed that the project was still on, but nothing has been designed. So the potential is there for some of this property to be acquired for the roundabout, but we don't know that yet.
Okay.
Can we talk about the proposed type of business for the area?
Mr. Lozano can address that question.
Good afternoon, City Council.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to start with the TxDOT and the runabout. I'm Jose Alejandro Lozano, the current owner. We just bought it in January of this year. Now, I don't think that a citizen of this community could be hostage by TxDOT by their planning ideas or goals. It doesn't matter if it's a commercial or residential. You know, you shouldn't go and say, we cannot allow a commercial site because TxDOT is going to do X, Y, and Z. It could be a residential as well. If they decide to do a runabout, then they can purchase the property via commercial, via a residential. It doesn't matter. So, you know, I don't think that this council should warrant that we're going to deny it because of TxDOT. We cannot do that. You know, hold hostage on this? No. I have heard TxDOT, it will be almost impossible for them to do a runabout in Socorro because it's only a one-street lane highway. To do a runabout, you need at least double lanes, 4 lanes. Can you imagine a big semi or a big rig going around the runabout in that corner? It's impossible. And if you know a little bit of engineering, you probably can agree with me because it's almost impossible. But they can do it. But if they're going to do it, let's not dwell on not approving this or not because of TxDOT. Okay? Now on the property. I'm an advocate of tourism. Tourism is very important for our community. This is only the only way we can bring free money to our community and to our tax base. We have to allow small mom and pop operations in a street that could be a tourist mecca for Socorro. Socorro Road is a mission trail, and we have to allow it to become a mission trail tourist attraction. We're not going to bring tourists to empty homes, depopulated homes. This property has been vacant for over 20 years. Nobody has wanted to live there. Nobody wants to live there. And it's going to be impossible to build a house there, especially if they're going to do a runabout. Forget that. But anyway, we believe that we bought this property thinking this is a nice place for a small mom-pop operation business. It is not a Walmart. It is not, you know, you just approved a Dollar General on the same street. It is not that. It is a small mom-pop operation. Little operation. It could be a little bakery store, a little It could be an attorney's office, an office. It could be a liquor store. Whoever rents it, I'm not gonna occupy it. I wanna rent it for a small business. It could be 1, 2, maybe 3 little businesses. And you have enough parking. On one side of me, we have the 3 brewery. On the opposite side, we have the Wine Down restaurant. And in front of me, we have Socorro restaurant. And you should see it on the weekends. You know, they have events. It's full of people, full of tourists, all not local, just tourists from the entire county. And this is beautiful. So I'm surprised that you would say deny because of runabout or deny because we want a home, a house. Why do you need a house in that corner? Who's gonna live there? I don't know if you have seen the plans, but we are incorporating, if you don't mind, me showing you the layouts, and we're already in construction, okay? And I know that if it's denied, we can just have a beautiful mission, adobe house type of a residence, but we don't want that. No, I don't know if you have the pictures on the screen. If you don't mind, I can pass the concept, the design. Well, I don't know if you can see from behind, from way up there, or I can bring it to you. This is the front on Socorro Road. It's a Spanish Pueblo style design. This is the side of Buford. It's going to have 4 faces. Not only the front, but we're remodeling the front, which is Socorro, the side, which is Buford, and the west side coming from three breweries, or from the casino. And this is what you're gonna see coming from the casino. Coming from Coco. If you come from Coco, you see this. If you're passing on Buford, you see that. And if you're coming on Socorro Road, you see this. It's a beautiful concept, I think. You know, I'm a designer for trade. I'm in tourism. I believe that this would be a great venue for the city of Socorro. It's an addition for a Mission Trail tourist mecca. We need to bring Socorro to the whole county and tell them, hey, we're here to support the tourist that comes to our area, especially with mom and pop operations. We have La Bodega, just a few feet away from our location. There's about 5 businesses there. There's no parking, really. There's a few parkings. Obviously, if we were to need more parking, yeah, why not acquire more properties and make more parking in the back? But right now, we're not in that stage. Right now, we want it to be a commercial to make it a tourist attraction site.
You mentioned that it's a mom and pop business, right?
Yes.
Sort of. And
Yeah, they're small businesses. They're not gonna be a big business.
right, and so we do appreciate our small businesses. So I'm assuming you're also a resident of Socorro?
Yes, I live at 406 Panahi by Pasmo. And I've been living, I moved from El Paso 4 years ago. I put the property on Panahi. I remodeled it completely. It's a nice little house, and I love it.
Can I have Ms. Quimito come back up to the mic? Ms. Quimito, in the planning and zoning, I guess the public hearing, you said there was 2 speakers that made comments that they weren't too fond of this.
The only thing they were not fond of was a liquor store. They didn't feel that, they had heard that there was a possibility that this was going to be a liquor store. They were told this, and that was what they were opposed to. that they did not feel a liquor store was appropriate for that neighborhood.
And those
he-
were
what-
residents?
Those were residents of the area. One of them works also across the street from this property. And he did state that he was not opposed to commercial for this area. They were really just opposed to the liquor store.
Did they also say anything in opposition of the other businesses that are within a mile radius? And I'll name them. The Dusty Tap, do they sell beer and liquor there?
Yes.
Okay. Wine Down, do they sell orange juice or do they sell wine?
They sell wine.
Okay.
They mentioned Wine Down as being just the character of the neighborhood of the development on Socorro Road.
Well, look, there was a motion and a second to deny before this item was presented. And if this council wants to use the excuse of not enough parking, I can tell you this. I looked at the GIS map on the EPCAD for Wine Down, as an example. Wine Down doesn't have enough parking for its customers either. It's actually on a different site.
Behind
Where their
the-
customers park. Yes, that's a
behind.
different property. So we can say technically Wine Down doesn't have enough parking as well. Bodega Loya's customers that visit also park across the street. Dusty Tap overflow parking is also across the street of Socorro Road, which is why we put the signs for our tourists to walk across with the flashing lights. Café Cocol, the business in which it operates in and its boundaries, also doesn't have adequate parking because they park across the street as well. So I just want to make council aware of all of the businesses that are coming to Socorro, but at the same time, I also want you guys to realize that Socorro's the only one right now keeping that Mission Trail alive. With its tourism attractions and the renovation of old inhabitable homes. I remember a few years ago that little house, we had to go in there and clean it up because it was so bad. And I mean, we can either keep it the old abandoned home that's falling down, or we can approve a rehabilitation of this and give it life again. And have someone else move in and lease it or rent it for whatever reason, for whatever commercial business that is allowed in our city. If you want to talk about the roundabout, Ms. Quimiro just mentioned it's a conceptual design, meaning it lives in someone's mind and it lives on paper. It has not been solidified through any of TxDOT's future planning and funding. But the applicant he makes a true statement when he says, "You're holding me hostage, it's my property, it's my land, and I'm not able to do anything with it because of a conceptual design that's living in someone's mind at the TxDOT office." Mr. Garcia, you had a comment?
Yes, so whatever I'll be very honest, what my staff recommends, I support. That's basically it, because I give all the trust and all that. And I'll be very honest with you, not a lot of denials come through here. Now, I want to go again through Ms. Camilo and say, why are we denying this? What reasons are we only denying it because of what TxDOT might bring, or is there other areas that we need to look at, or other reasons where the staff recommended denial?
The parking and the flow of the site and the TxDOT is not not the only factor, and it is, as stated, a conceptual drawing, and in the future that may or may not impact this site, but it is on the size of the lot, the location, and the ability to provide all that parking.
Now,
That
sorry.
being said, though, that raises also a very good point to consider how much more space on Socorro Road are we willing to give up for parking? So if we continue on with these recommendations, we are also pushing for a lot of development that could negatively impact our historic corridor.
So that's what we're worried about, our historic corridor and I'm gonna switch my view to Mr. Reta. He's our historian. Now, Mr. Reta, I'm asking you the questions. What are we looking at here? What does it hurt our mission for the mission trail? How does this look? And I want to know where we're at with that.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Victor Reta. I am your Historic Preservation Officer. This item did go before HLC. For the record, HLC just reviews materials, design, and aesthetics. We have no ruling over intent or purpose or use of the property. That's where your P&Z comes in. As far as a historical corridor, we do look at everything which is called an infill, which means something new is coming into your corridor. We want to make sure that it's not something that would take away from the actual historical corridor or deter from the overall aesthetic of it. We did work with the applicant because his initial design was not approved through the guidelines, so he did have to modify it to make those adjustments. Everything from an HLC standpoint is correct and in compliance now. As far as a new development, we do look at every business in terms of how they're going to add value to the historical character, as well as what the impact would be. We do look at what our city represents in terms of heritage, history, and also humanity, meaning our population. As far as what his project would impact the city, it would be something new to the historical corridor. However, we don't look at anything other than that. So from my aspect, all of his designs are now in compliance, which is ultimately what we want to see, is that the character of the district is not changed. From a special event standpoint, I will tell you that parking is a concern, but from a heritage standpoint, he is not destroying any property that is of significance. There is nothing on the register that would qualify for that to be non-compliance. But we also, in HLC, did make mention of the items that our Planning and Zoning Department has shared with us regarding the corridor, which was actually asked by this body, which are the roundabouts and the improvements to lighting and pedestrian walkways. So that is where that came from. That was also something that went through HLC, which we did approve, was we wanted to make our city more walkable and livable. So that is why the idea of a roundabout came in, to slow down traffic, to allow more foot traffic to safely commute about that area. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
I think that sums it up for me, but I would like to, Ms. Camilo, is there any plans that you see that would work for that area? Like, because if we deny it, it's another.
It's just going back to a residence.
Right, and now I want to make sure that, is there anything he can do to change the plans and say that you agree with them, or our staff agrees with? Is there anything in your view? No, so I understand that. I do understand that. The commission does approve whatever they would like to approve. But I take my staff's recommendation very seriously. I give them 100% of my backing. So I want to make sure that if we can go through any avenue other than the P&Z, then that's what we're going to do. So I'm asking her if there's anything we can do to help you, because I want to know. I'm not looking for anything else but a happy medium here.
So we're just here to answer technical questions, right? The denial was more off of the parking spaces. There's not enough parking for a commercial business. I think that the conceptual plan from TxDOT, that shouldn't really be, due to the Uniforms Act, there's no way that we can actually take that into effect and affect these property owners, right? But I do feel that it's the parking, right, and the shape of the building, because they're trying to rehab the building that already exists there. So it's pretty tight, right? I think that but they could demolish and build a whole new, giving the perfect parking spaces, but they can come back with a variance for parking. I mean, there's all kinds of options if council wishes to approve the item, because they can come back and request a variance for the parking spaces.
Mayor,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Good evening, Council, Mayor and Council, Jim Martinez, City Attorney. I would simply advise, we're talking about, I know it's rational to talk about specific uses and specific proposals. That's really beyond the scope of what you're posted for. This is a zoning issue. It's not a site plan, it's not a specific permit, a special permit for a particular use, it's just zoning. So I'm not sure that focusing on a particular use is really related to the item that's posted.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Martinez.
Okay.
Our attorney is correct in what he's saying. We're making a lot of assumptions right now, and we're going into discussions that don't need to happen or take place. It's a request to change what is currently a single-family residential rundown home, and they want to change the zoning to commercial. Ms. Quimiro, if the council denies this application right now, and the applicant wanted to open a small office for his personal business, which falls under commercial use, would we be denying that?
If you denied this request, you would be denying his C1 commercial use. As a residence, the option would be there to open a home occupation. Home occupations are allowable in the ordinance, and there are restrictions for a home occupation. So somebody could, if it looked wonderful now that he's worked on rehabilitating the building, live there as a residence and run a home occupation.
Should the applicant lease his building once renovated to someone who's interested in opening up a small coffee shop, but because of today's decision made by council was denied? Could that coffee shop open?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
An additional comment that I'd like to share is the concern, although it is not a for sure plan yet, but it is on paper, the roundabout. I do not want to run into a future situation as we have in prior situations, as is with the current roads that are being planned, right? That now we have to tear down homes and the people being in an uproar as to why weren't we notified. I don't want that issue to come into place in the future where, yes, well, there is going to be an approval for the roundabout, and that you come back, well, I was not aware, and they're gonna tear down my place. This is something that we want to make sure that we're planning properly for the future.
And I understand it. If it's my residence, if it's my business, it doesn't matter. If they're gonna do a roundabout and buy my property, they can do it. No big deal. I'm aware of it. You know, I'm for improvement and I'm for expansion. But that's not hearsay. It's just a hearsay. It might never happen. Or it could happen.
Is there any further discussion from council, members of council? No. I believe there was a motion and a second to deny this application.
Ms. Quimiro.
Ms. Cordero has a
Ms.
question.
Quimiro, if he were to apply for the variance, what are the chances, like for the parking, for it to pass? Will he be complying with the requirements for the C1? Yes, ma'am.
So no, right? That's why he needs a variance, because he doesn't meet the code. And we can't tell you because council makes those decisions, not staff. Staff just executes policy, and we're here to provide technical information.
Can I ask you a question? How many parking spaces do you need for that property?
That would be a technical question. I don't know if you're able to answer. I don't know the square footage.
Yeah, well, we don't know the square footage, we don't know the type of business. Back to Representative Garcia's question about working on something to make it work, because we do want to be supportive of our residents and supportive of the community, encourage the proper development and use positive examples of development on Socorro Road. If we could delay the item to the next meeting and see if Mr. Lozano we can look at the ordinances and other examples maybe that we haven't looked into of how this could work
And
in a positive way.
and that's something I want to do. I want to table it. I want to change our motion. I want to table it because he's done everything he has to do. And if it's just parking, then we can find something where we can find enough parking per se and for the next meeting on June 25th. So I want to postpone for June 25th. I believe that's our special meeting.
No, June 4th
June 4th.
is our
But I-
next meeting,
So I want to give it for the second meeting in June, just to give them enough time.
June 25th.
Is that okay?
That's fine. And something to, that you can put in your back burner. It all depends who's gonna rent. Equals the parking that you need. Because I was told at the beginning that you only needed about 6, 7 parking spaces. At the most 9 parking spaces. And we have 13 parking spaces. So, you know, it all depends who's gonna rent and what business they're gonna bring forward. That's where you come in and say, deny a business or not. You know, even though it's a commercial property, when somebody brings an application to open up a business, then that's when he needs even variance, actually, but,
So technically, it's not a mom and pop business. A mom and pop, technically, it's not a mom and pop business. It's not because a mom and pop is owned and run by the family. And so you wouldn't be running it and you're leasing it.
yes, listen,
Right.
but it'll be a small type of a business, like I said, you know. But I believe that the parking is there, it all depends what kind of business, and that's where the city council can approve or deny that kind of business. They can divert it, because they, okay, you know, if you wanna open up this business, then you need a variance. But if you're gonna open up an office, a number of years in office, you don't need a variance, you don't need so many parking spaces. You're gonna open up a restaurant, I agree, you know, you need more parking spaces. But if you're gonna open up a liquor store, who parks in a liquor store? It's a drive-through. There's no need for a parking, it's the owner.
Okay, so,
That's something to.
So this is just a rezoning change. How many times have we approved zoning changes without knowing what the business was gonna be? And the business came after. Nobody here argued the warehouses and stuff like that. All we knew is agriculture land was being converted into commercial. This item's the same thing. We don't know what type of business is gonna take place. They wanna operate some type of business as long as it falls within the guidelines of the city of Socorro. They're just wanting to change residential to commercial.
but the staff came with a denial.
They're,
I take that not as a grain of salt, but I take that as the best interest of the city. And so I would like to table this item, remove my motion of denial, and table the item for our second meeting in June. Postpone from our second meeting in June.
I second.
so you making a motion to postpone the meeting to bring
Back,
another what?
whatever they bring back, then we can talk about it with staff approval. Because staff, to me, said no, and that's something to pay attention to.
Staff's denial of this application was based on parking and a proposed roundabout.
Then they can bring it back, and if they say denial again, then we'll get into it again. But when my staff says no, there's a reason they're saying no.
And with all due respect, sir, what is your commission for, your board member?
Yes, sir, and I understand that P and Z is there, and so is our staff. So we have a staff, and we have P and Z. So it's great that they approved it 4-0, but my staff also denied it. So I can get back and deny it, or we can just try to table it, and let's go to a happy medium, because that's what I'd rather do than kill it and do something else. So my staff said no. I respect that tremendously. So, I mean, we can do whatever we want and however we want, but my vote is to table the item, and let's come back, postpone the item, and come back and talk about it. And if we can't find a happy medium, then we'll do it again. But if this is the way it should work, where we're talking to each other. But if we're just gonna approve because we have to, or we want to, or because somebody says so, that's not the way it works. Thank you.
All right, so there's been a motion to postpone this item to the June
25th.
Third, I think.
No.
What was the date?
25th.
June
June 25th.
25th? We have a meeting June 25th?
So you have a meeting June 18th, but you have an agenda item that is requesting rescheduling for June 25th, since all of you will be in training that
So what
day.
if the council doesn't approve the item to, our agenda item to move the 18th to the 25th?
So
meeting?
then it'll be in July.
Okay, so we're in the motion to postpone this meeting until, to the next city council meeting whenever scheduled, right?
So I think he said the second meeting,
Second meeting of.
right? So one meeting, so
June.
it's June 4th. If June 25th doesn't happen, then it'll be in July.
Okay, you know why I'm saying that is because there's an item that's later on the list here that hasn't been approved yet, and we're wanting to schedule it for that date without prior approval. So then the motion is to postpone this
To the
item
second meeting
to the second meeting in June?
Yes.
All right, there's a motion, do I have a second? Second, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that motion is approved. Thank you. We're gonna move on to the grants department. This is agenda item. Thank you,
you.
Mr. Lozano, thank you. 18 is the discussion and action to approve the proposed updates to the City of Socorro's ARPA spending framework.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Alejandra Valadez, City Development Director. We're here to request your approval on the updates to the ARPA spending framework. As you recall, the City of Socorro did receive an allocation of funds from the Department of Treasury in connection to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. The funds, total funds allocated to the City of Socorro are approximately $8.5 million. These funds were specifically set aside for recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. And so they have very specific and outlined uses that are regulated for these funds. We put together an ARPA spending framework, and since then we've worked towards the completion of these projects. At this time, we are about 85% spent down on our ARPA allocation. A lot of these projects are complete, as you can see from the backup. We just submitted our 2026 ARPA annual report to the U.S. Treasury, which outlines how much we've spent down for each project and which projects are completed. And in order to reconcile that report with our ARPA spending framework, now we bring you all the updated ARPA spending framework for your approval. There are a lot of changes to decrease or increase some of these project totals in order to close out some of these projects. But as you can see, the net change is $0. So we're just balancing those funds where they need to go. Specifically for GSP, Project GSP03 for the Small Business Assistance Program, we had a balance of about $2,200, which we are reducing so that we can close out that project. For ARPA Project GSP05, for the hiring of an economic recovery coordinator, we had a balance, an unspent balance of approximately $9,300. We are reducing that budget so that we can close out that project. The next project is Project PZ04 for the Bowie Rio Vista and Passmore water stormwater project. We had a unspent balance. We are adding 23 cents to that project so that we can close it out. Project PZ05 for the Citywide Trails Master Plan, we are at reducing it by 16 cents so that we can close that project out. For Project PZ06 for the Rio Vista Traffic Signal and Traffic Island project, we are reducing that project by approximately $1,000 so that we can close that project out. Project PZ07 for the transit study, we are reducing it by $1 so that we can close that project out. Project PZ09 for the Citywide Surface Transportation Project, we are increasing that project by $8,000 so that we can make use of all of those extra funds that were not spent on those other projects. We're going to use them for our surface transportation plan project, which involves resurfacing of city streets throughout the city of Socorro. For Project RCO2, this is our COVID-19 Public Health Fund. We are reducing that project by $3,500 so that we can close the project out. For project RCO3, this is for the Community Wellness Pilot Program. We are increasing this project by $2,500. This project is not complete, so we're just updating that budget so that it can carry us through December of 2026. For project SPD01, we are increasing that budget by $74 so that we can close out that project. And lastly, for project SPD02, for the SPD vehicles project, we are increasing that project by $5,511 to correct an administrative error when we did the budget and close out that project. So everything now, once it's approved, should match what we have reported to the U.S. Treasury, and then we can continue to close out the projects that are still showing up as not fully complete.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's been a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is number 19. This is the discussion and action to review the City of Socorro Investment Policy and Strategy Ordinance number 250, Amendment number 2.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Adriana Rodarte, City Manager. Staff has reviewed the policy to ensure continued compliance with state requirements and to determine whether any amendments are necessary as a result of recent legislative changes or operational needs. At this time, staff is not recommending any changes to the policy, as no significant legislative updates impacting the city's investment practices were identified during the recent legislative session. The policy continues to establish guidelines focused on the city's primary investment objectives, including safety, liquidity, diversification, public trust, and yield. Staff respectfully requests Council acknowledge and approve the annual review of the City of Socorro's investment policy and strategy ordinance number 250, amendment number 2, as required under the Texas Public Funds Act. And staff is available to answer any questions.
Any members of council have any questions on this item? No? There was a motion and second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that motion carries. Agenda item number 20. This is the discussion and action to appoint 2 city council members to serve on the investment committee in accordance with ordinance number 250, amendment number 2.
Motion to approve.
Second.
So good evening, Mayor and Council. This item is for discussion and action to appoint 2 city council members to serve on the city's investment committee in accordance with the City of Socorro's investment policy. The ordinance requires council representation on the committee to assist with oversight and review of the city's investment practices and reporting requirements in compliance with the Texas Public Funds Investment Act. Currently, Representative at Large Ruben Reyes serves on the committee. Ms. Ivan Colon Villalobos used to serve prior. Right now, we can reappoint Mr. Ruben Reyes, or if you all wish to change to 2 new council members, that is completely up to you all. But staff is requesting to appoint the 2 council members to be able to serve in our committee.
Mr. Reyes?
You want to change me, right?
So, does anyone want to bring back any of the old members? No? Okay. Mr. Reyes, we want to keep him on there. Do any other members of council want to serve? Who wants to serve? Ms. Rojas?
I'll go ahead and serve along with
Mr. Reyes? Yeah? Okay. When are your meetings usually held? In the evenings?
So normally we hold our meetings every time that we have to move money around, right? So at that time, we schedule a meeting and we notify Mr. Reyes of where we're at. We go through the bank account information and then the investment by accounts.
Okay.
Now, and these meetings are in the evening or during the day?
So it just depends whenever you're available. Normally, Mr. Reyes is available around 4:30.
I think our staff's pretty flexible because me and Mr. Garcia sit on another committee and they usually throw out dates and we come to an agreement when we can meet. So
Right.
same thing with you all.
I can, if you provide me those dates with time, I can pretty much, if it's around that time, 4:30, it's still feasible for me. If it's 9 in the morning, it's not. But if it's at around 4:30, I pretty much
Yes, so
can.
normally we'll send out an email requesting, and then you all kind of answer back saying, yes, I'm available at that time.
Just have to go and sign the checks.
Can you send them the
They're not for us,
notification?
but.
Can you send them the notifications at 3 in the morning on Saturday? So
If
that way
that's
they
when
can
I'm awake
prepare?
and I remember, I will.
All right.
Yes.
So there's a motion to keep Mr. Reyes, and then we'll go ahead and add Ms. Rojas to the investment committee. Does that sit well with council?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion? Or do we have to make a motion, Jim?
Motion to
What'd you just
approve.
say?
I already made it.
It's been made?
So
Okay.
it's okay that
Oh,
Oh, so I'm gonna make a motion to approve, the reinstatement of Mr. Reyes and Ms. Rojas to the committee.
Second.
okay, there's been a motion and second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries. Congratulations, guys. The next agenda item is the discussion and action to reschedule the regular city council meeting for June 18th of 2026 to June 25th of 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This item is requesting approval to reschedule the regular city council meeting. The requested date change is due to several council members attending the Texas Municipal League High Performance Public Leadership Training taking place in Austin on June 18th. The training focuses on leadership development, communication, collaboration, and effective governance, and supports continuing education opportunities for elected officials. Rescheduling the meeting will help ensure adequate council participation while allowing members the opportunity to attend this professional development training. Staff respectfully requests approval of the proposed date change. And we're here to answer any questions.
Commissioner Nevares?
Are we modifying that to leave on
I think the
17th, or it stays with the 18th?
No,
No.
so some of you are leaving on the 17th and some of you are leaving on the 18th.
It's to accommodate the training for council. We won't meet quorum for that day, so we'll have to reschedule our regularly scheduled meeting for the 25th. And that's
Since
why.
none of you will be here on the 18th
No,
at
I
6
know,
PM.
I know, but the question is it still on the table to leave on the 18th or a day prior?
No, so some of you are leaving on the 17th. Those arrangements that have already been made.
Okay.
And
Staff's
some are
already
leaving on the
scheduled
18th.
everyone's
Yeah.
schedule for them, and we can take that one. We can discuss that one offline, but this item here is just to move agenda item, our
To
city
reschedule the
council
meeting,
meeting.
yes.
Reschedule it for the 25th.
That's what we're posted
And
for.
just an FYI, I will not be in town on the 25th. So if we reschedule, I will not be able to attend that meeting. On the
That's
25th.
for
The 25th
June, in June?
in June.
Okay. Everybody mark your calendars. Ms. Rojas is not gonna be here on the 25th of June. So that was a motion and a second? Yes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Do we have any items posted for executive
Yes, sir.
session?
We have one.
We have one. Do I have a motion to go into executive?
Motion to go into executive?
Second.
There's been a motion and second to go into executive. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's 7:29 PM and this council is going to retire into executive. Good evening, everyone. We're now back to the regular session of our May 21st, 2026 council meeting. It's 7:41 p.m. and we're now back in session. After discussing in executive session, would any member of council like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the proceeding.
Okay, go ahead.
My bad. I'd like to make a motion to approve as presented by our staff recommendation. Excuse me? For item 25.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? And that motion carries. Council, we do have a resident that walked in a little bit late, and if you would like to entertain the motion to suspend the rules and open up the public comment for her at this time, now's the time.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
There's been a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you all. Ma'am, you're more than welcome to, yes, ma'am, to speak.
My name is Brenda, and I graduated from Socorro, and I've been here most of my life. And I bought a land on Socorro Road, on Freddy Vargas, and then I paid it off. Okay.
Can you state your name, please?
Berta?
Marta?
Berta.
Berta.
Yes. Alfaro minus.
Alfaro.
Alfaro minus. And you said it's on Socorro Road and Fray Vargas?
Yes.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so I live there, and I've been living there for over 35 years. And every time they've broken into my house twice. There's a canal right there. It was full of weeds. I called the city, I called the Lower Valley. Nobody helped me. I had to hire somebody so they could take away all those weeds there. Because there was a lot of immigrants coming through that. It's a popular path right there. I mean, I have videos, I have everything. So now that I cleared everything out, the canal, they made it like into a road. Razors, cars, all kinds of people go through there, different times of day, night. They've hit my fence twice already. The first one, I knew the neighbor, so he fixed it. The second one, they took it out. I don't know what else to do. How come it's a dead end? How come they don't put a barrier, a metal, something? It's annoying. I don't know where else to turn to. I called the police. I have a report. Because, like I said, my fence, they broke it down. So I don't know what else to do. Who to call?
Ma'am, I'm Ms. Rojas. I am your district representative.
Okay.
Please know that I am here to support you and help you in any way. We all are. So I'll give you my card para que se comunique conmigo. Y así en lo que podamos ayudarle y asistirle, we'll have the conversation with our city manager.
I just want a barrier right there so they don't go in. I mean, I parked my car a couple of days. I have my cameras. I have pictures, I have everything. And I parked my car because I was going to go out. I went back inside, and there's a car coming, going down. Ya mero le pega mi car. He goes through the side. I mean,
Okay.
it's crazy.
As soon as we end this meeting, please get with Ms. Rojas. During the public comment, we really want to answer questions, but we're not allowed to answer questions during public comment. Once we end the meeting, we're more than happy to engage in conversation with you.
Okay, well, the police, they told me to come here and talk to you guys.
Okay.
Somebody will listen to me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so
ma'am.
much for your
Thank
comments.
you.
Okay. Executive session. Do we have, are there any items for 23, 24, and 25?
motion to delete items 23, 24, and 25.
Second.
Well, hang on,
Not
22.
25. I'm sorry, motion to,
22.
motion to delete items 22, 23, and 24.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to delete items 22, 23, and 24. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting ends at 7:47 p.m. Thank you.